Browns back at it, getting ready for the Eagles. And, of course, the topic here today on Wednesday, it was all about Deshaun Watson and, of course, the play calling. And let's start with Deshaun Watson. Of course, he's relevant to that as well. Mary Kay, what did Deshaun have to say to you that really stood out?
Well, the first thing that stood out was the fact that he has completely blocked out all of these calls for his benching. He's not listening to anything this week. Of course, from coast to coast, everyone, every analyst, every expert in the NFL world has called for his ouster this week. People think that he's finished, that he's done, and he is not listening to any of it. He's regrouping. And then the other thing is that he said he acknowledged he has been trying to do too much, or he did try to do too much in that Washington game, and now he's going to simplify it and just get back to playing football.
Yeah, Ashley, when you look at the games that he has played well this year, it does seem like it's been best when he's just sort of taken what's there, when he's waited for those opportunities to develop. And when you watch that Washington game, it seems like that was just sort of lacking. He was just always looking for the big play, always looking to make the spectacular moment.
Yeah, and I do think that is kind of his kryptonite as a quarterback in a lot of ways, because we've talked about it before. That's also why he's prone to getting sacked. And there was that one sack specifically on the goal line drive that failed, that ended with the Dustin Hopkins 31-yard field goal. Watching that play, and we said it yesterday, Dan, I still don't know how that turned into a sack. But again, it was, you rewatch it, he's holding on to the ball. He's looking for a big play instead of taking Jerry Jeudy, who looked like he was wide open on that shot. So I do think that tends to lend itself to some of the mistakes that he's made so far.
Now, I mentioned it, play calling was, of course, the topic, and Deshaun talked about that today. Jerry Jeudy talked about that today. Kevin Stefanski gave no indication that he was going to give up play calling when he spoke to us today, Mary Kay. So Deshaun backed him. Jerry Jeudy said it doesn't matter who calls the plays. We've just got to make it happen. So it seems like it's going to be mostly status quo for this week.
Yes, it does. And Deshaun actually came out today and really gave Kevin Stefanski a huge vote of confidence in play calling, actually calling him the best play caller in the NFL. So that was a little bit of a departure from after the game when he was asked if Ken Dorsey should be calling plays, and all he said was, that's a Kevin question. This time, huge vote of confidence for Kevin. I think they're all trying to come together, support each other, bring out the best in each other, be positive, hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and get this thing on track.
Yeah, I think that's the big point here, Ashley, is everybody's kind of playing nice this week, just trying to do everything they can to get this thing turned around, sitting at 1-4, because it's desperation time. So it is good that Deshaun Watson came out and at least quelled a little bit this idea that maybe he would like to see Ken Dorsey call plays.
Yeah, I do think the Browns continue to say all the right things, right? And I think that extends to back after the Commanders game. None of the defensive guys were saying anything bad or getting frustrated with the offense and their inability to do anything with 2 takeaways that this defense got them. I think across the board, everyone is taking blame for their own issues, their own problems they're having this season. But I am curious, if they get to 1-5 and the losses keep piling up, how long is that going to last? I think the more you lose, the tougher that becomes.
Now, a couple injury notes today. Charlie Hewlett went on IR, so Rex Sunahara, the Bay Village native, will get to take over as the long snapper. And really, Mary Kay, we're monitoring this week a lot of stuff on the defensive side of the football. Denzel Ward didn't practice today. Grant Delpit didn't practice today. A number of other players. Ethan Posick did not practice today. Of course, that's on the offensive side of the ball. But we're really keeping an eye on some key injuries here to start the week.
That's right. I mean, there were a lot of guys out today, including David Njoku. They finally got David back from his ankle, and now he's out with a knee injury. We'll have to see how that goes as the week goes along. And then, as you mentioned, Ethan Posick, that would really hurt not to have him. Denzel Ward with a hamstring. So really some very key guys that were on the sidelines today.
And Myles Garrett didn't practice today either. That's pretty normal, though, at this point, at least this season, for him to not practice on Wednesdays. But, of course, we'll keep an eye on that as we go along. But, Ashley, Browns fans know this well. Even when you maybe get some guys designated to come back from IR like the Browns did today, and Mo Hurst and Mahmoud Diabate, you lose other guys you could lose other guys who are key contributors.
Yeah, and especially defensively this week, I keep thinking about with the Eagles on deck on Sunday. They are supposed to have both Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown back. Those two guys haven't played together in Philly since week 1 of the season, so they've got some pieces coming back. And as we said on the podcast yesterday, I think while it's good they're getting some defensive guys back, those defensive guys wouldn't cancel out losing Denzel Ward for this week if he is not able to play.
Okay, we'll have full coverage of everything that happened here in Berea on Wednesday at cleveland.com/Browns.